All right, I'm going to explain just some of the Christmas tree valve because it is literally no information on the internet. Google search. I did scrum up a diagram, and I'm just going to do a touch up, and I'm going to show how you take this top cap apart. I'm going to explain a little bit about this. And if I'm wrong at any, if somebody knows I'm definitely wrong on anything I say in this video, be happy to call me out on it in the comments. I'm not ashamed to say I'm wrong. Just what I done figured out tonight. Get the gas tank off. I could not get this cap off with the gas tank on there. It needed to be took off. So I took the gas tank off. I got that laying over there. I'm gonna beat that out. I'm gonna do a separate video on that. But anyway, my valve was stuck. This is all it would do. Just that. It won't do nothing else. It's supposed to go like this way, and go this way, like that. Well, it was stuck in two places. All right. Take the cap off. You take the 3 bolts. It's a bracket that goes across here. Goes here to here. These are common on the H and the M, kind of. They're really hard to find. That's one thing that drew me to this tractor, because they're really kind of hard to find and a real rare item. Kind of rare item. You don't see many of them. Most of them has got just a one-way hydraulics, meaning you turn the pump on, the hydraulic pump on is down here in the belly. You turn the pump on, and the pressure will raise your implement up. But back in the times of this M, it was front-mounted cultivators. It'll raise them up. You turn the pump on, and the pressure from the pump, that handle will be down here, like so. That will be up. That'll be up. You had like a neutral where it would just hold pressure to it, hold it one. It was like a neutral. The pump's off, but it's got left the pressure on the lines. It's like a neutral. I think this is correct. So if anybody know any different, be happy to call it out in the comments. All right, this is pressure. You have to raise your cultivators up. Because these tractors on there were made for a 3-point hitch. Most of the hydraulic stuff is like for a picker. They raise up and down like a mounted picker, but mainly cultivators. 4-row cultivating tractor. What I read. But anyway, this pump would raise it up, then you had a neutral, and then you push it forward, and all that does is when it comes down, the weight and the gravity will let the implement down. Well, this was not called, I don't think, by H a Christmas tree valve. It was just called a 2-way spool valve. What this does, I'm sure this was put on tractors for a different purpose of something that needed 2-way hydraulics. But initially, I'm sure when they put them on there back in the early 40s, the hydraulics was just gravity. This was probably intended for something else. I don't know what they could have been running back then. And this is going to put down pressure on your whatever you got it attached to. It's a 2-way hydraulic valve. You got hydraulic pressure going this way and hydraulic pressure going the other way. All right. You leave the pump set in the full on position, full pressure. But while it's on full pressure, the oil is just circulating through here, just circulating, just making a circle until you move the valve. This valve puts pressure on whichever line, depending on which way you turn it, which way you pull it, was forward or backwards. You got oil pressure on this line both ways. I think that's how it works. I need to get this straight for my hitch to put on the rear, hook my hitch up, a 3-point hitch. All right, back to the spool valve. That's 1-way hydraulics, pressure up, gravity down. You still got that stuff even these days on like batwing bush hogs. It's pressure only up. It's a single stage cylinder. You have pressure up, but nothing going down. But I'm gonna give you a little breakdown on this what I have figured out. So that if anybody has having any problems or leakages or anything with these old valves, because there's not a lot of information there. There's not a lot of videos out there of them. I don't think they were really put on the tractors a lot. That's one thing that drawn me to this tractor. Was this two-way hydraulic valve, that 3-point hitch, and these new tires and this wide front end. That would basically drew me to this tractor. Modern touches, as they say. But you don't have to take this nutter loose, but it's a lot simpler that way. You take this nut off the top of it, take your 4 bolts. It's a bracket that goes across here. All right, take that off. Slide the cap off. Don't get worried, ain't nothing gonna jump out at you or anything. All right, all you do once you get to this point, you see how that these 2 little ears, they lock, and 2 little ears inside of there. So when you tighten it up, it don't spin. This is the valve that you're actually working. That I can't do. This outside don't really move. But you can take the handle. What was going on with mine? Mine had a bunch of rust and crud in it because it really ain't no seal on it. I don't see. You might put a little Permatex or something in that bottom. I might do that when I put it back together. But the plunger was stuck in mine. It had rust and gunk and stuff in here. I guess it would ran through the bolt hole. I might put a little Permatex around this too. But this right here will slide out just like that. If you ever had a touch control apart, this is similar to what's inside of a touch control on each bank. There's 2 of these in there. One for the front of the hitch and one for the rear. Now you got one O-ring here. I guess if it's seeping out up here and running out the sides, you need to change that O-ring. But I'm not gonna fool with this because this spring piece here was stuck and this plunger was stuck. So we're working now, but it's nothing in here that's gonna jump out at you or anything else. That slides out just like so. A lot of times, if it's not working, this is just stuck. But this is, I don't know if you can see it, that is spring loaded both ways. That'll spring this way and that way. This here slides over top of that, if that makes any sense. The little hooks in here, this is bolted up, this is bolted sturdy, and this piece slides on top of this piece. This don't move. And mine was stuck in here. This piece moves, but this piece stays still here. And mine was stuck inside of here and was frozen, wouldn't move. But that's all it is to it. And the only thing that does is reroutes the oil flow inside of here. Can't push it with one finger, but all it does is just basically reroutes the oil flow. Is all it does. That's not O-ring up. But that's all it does. I said this cool rainy night, and I finally got out here to work on this thing here because it's been hot, man. This is a metal tin box. When you let the doors open, the fans open, they still be stifling hot in here. And I didn't want to sprawl this out outside in the yard under the tree. So I work on a lot of small stuff here. But all this does is just reroute the oil flow from here to there, or from here to there. That's really all it does. It just it redirects the oil flow. You stick it back together. Looking at the parts, the breakdown on it, it's nothing else to this. From looking at the part diagram, and I think that's, I'm not sure if that's an in or out, but I needed to get this working, this much of it working, and see all it does is just hooks in there like that. Like I said, this piece don't move. This moves over top of this piece, and there's a big spring inside of here. But mine was stuck. This piece was stuck in the housing, and it wouldn't move. But I said, and make sure you line them slots up here with them 2 little slots there. But that's what keeps the thing from turning around and around and around. And you put the nut back on there like that. Mine, this one wasn't moving, it was just froze in there. I guess you start getting oil seeping at the top, that O-ring will be bad. I guess is what that would mean. Tighten that up there. Put your bolts back in here. I mean, I was the same way. A lot of people can look at a video or something like that and automatically get it. And me, I looked at a diagram before I pulled that plunger out, because, like I said, you never know if something will jump out or fall down through there or something. So I wanted to make sure nothing was going to happen that way before I actually removed that valve all the way out. Because if something, a spring or a ball or something would have been sitting in here somewhere, and it would have popped out that was resting against that valve, I didn't want to go pluck up down in my, I guess that's not really the transmission, but you get what I'm saying. A little video on how you can quickly take this Christmas tree valve apart. That's going to be about the only thing. That's the only thing in there that's going to have a malfunction or leak. Right. Would be that. This thing could be tightened up, but man, I'm not trying to take all them lines are loose, old as they are. A lot of crack or bust this. It ain't leaking. It ain't broke. Let's not fix it. But take this here, just snug him up. And that's all mine would do. That's just to play in the shaft. But it's supposed to come back like this. A lot of spring pressure on it. And there's both ways. This is an antique, old two-way. This is the two-way hydraulic valve, which you buy them there at Tractor Supply for. They're called spool valves. That's what these are. But these are two-way hydraulics. That was one of the selling points to it on me, because down pressure is a lovely item to have. And you don't realize how nice it is to have it till you're using a road blade or something. Down pressure is lovely on a road blade. Road blades are a dime a dozen. You bend it up or something, it don't really matter. You can buy them probably nowhere straight road blade. But so I said my loader project, I'm thinking about this thing. I'm not sure. I'm hoping this might be a pressure side. So I need a pressure side and a return side to the loader, because I need pressure going. I'm not gonna have pressure out the pump, because the pump is free flowing with the valve the way it is, like this. With the valve like this, it only has no pressure off of the valve until you actually redirect the oil. I'm hoping this may be a pressure side, being it's on the pressure side. I'm hoping I maybe can tap into this, my pressure line on my loader valve, on my loader, and maybe come up here with another T and T back in, so as the oil is pumping, it's coming out of the pressure, and it'll circle back through the spool valve on the loader and right back in the reservoir when it's not being used. What I mean by not being used, when you're not working the loader up and down the road in the bucket like this. It's in like neutral. You need the oil to circle when it's in neutral. So I'm hoping this is a pressure side, and I can like maybe T in here on a return and go right back in, and then come out the bottom here somewhere on a pickup. Hopefully. I don't need a pickup because I'm not using a pump. I'm gonna try to use this belly pump. And that's gonna be my first try with the loader, is off of this belly pump. The only problem with the belly pump deal is the belly pump only has 800 PSI. That's not a lot. Now, I had to ask myself what I'm gonna be lifting with this thing. You know, mainly just a bucket, mainly just some stuff moving it around here, which is not gonna weigh that much. You know, I think that's an 800 PSI pump. And I just try it that way first and see if it does what you need it to do. And if it don't, you know you need to do something different. But that's that. And then take this, put this back up here like that, and voila. Good. And that's that. That's supposed to work. So that's the inside of a Christmas tree valve. Nothing to it. That little plunger pretty much is all it is to it. It's very similar to the valve inside of a touch control box. I did not video none of that when I redone that touch control because it was the first time I did not really know what I was doing, and nor did I know how to edit videos. I know how to edit them a little bit now, but if I would do the Super A1, I'd definitely video the important highlights of it anyway. I mean, there's something I can just take cap off real quick, pop plunge out, and show everybody it's not, nothing that's going to fly out or anything like that, and how it works. But that gives you two-way hydraulics. And like I said, the reason I want two-way hydraulics is if I need to put any down pressure on something, because I think I'm gonna plumb in here on my cylinder and just put quick connects on them. So if I want to tow something on a drawbar and I need these lines, I can just unhook my 3-point hitch and plug in whatever implement I have behind it. I'm not sure, that's got an IH on it, but I'm not 100% sure if that's right or not. I'm not. That almost looks like it should be up here. Maybe, I don't know. This don't look right. But that's an IH clamp. Anyhow, that's what you got inside of a Christmas tree valve. And a lot of information on them online, just on the plungers, very similar to what's in a touch control. And that's pretty much that. Like I said, I'm hoping this is a pressure side. It's going the same side that the inlet line is. I'm hoping I'm gonna have pressure over here, and I'm gonna feed my loader with that and put maybe a return here, feed it back in, or pressure and a return so the oil can circulate, and that'll feed the loader the oil. Because the loader I had a nose pump on it, and it's not gonna work on this M. If that don't work, if this belly pump deal don't work out, I'm gonna probably just have to neatly try to mount the Thompson nose pump off the 2444 somewhere over here and be kind of neat. And next problem I'm gonna have is this power, just steering, but that's gonna be a booger with the front end loader on there. But anyway, I'm trying to do a whole lot in this one old tractor, but we'll see how it works out. Loader, spraying corn and stuff with it too. But that's a separate video. Anyway, thanks for watching Farmall M Christmas tree valve.